doing?
Hi.
Okay, I've got two questions. One, what made you interested in doing Degrassi? And B, would you ever be interested in doing something to do with Australia?
What do you mean, something to do with Australia? Just go there? I mean, there's a lot of things I could do with Australia. You got to be more specific. Make a movie there, fucking reveal that it was a prison colony at one point. Try to discourage people from going. It's filled with fucking prisoners, man. I'm going to Australia, I think, in the fall. I'm trying to, I'm doing Q&As and shit like that. And after Carnegie Hall, suddenly people were like, hey, come here, come here. But now there are places that I'm like, ooh, I want to play there. Sydney Opera House, the one that was in Finding Nemo. That's how I make all my decisions, basically. I want to play Carnegie Hall because I saw Bugs Bunny was there once. Now I'm in the Sydney Opera House because it was in Finding Nemo. I'm not really an adult. So what was the first question? Degrassi. How did I wind up in? I was just a huge fan of the original series. And when they were doing the Next Generation, first I didn't want to watch it because I was all like, I was still in my 20s, so it was like, they fucking sold out, man. How could they go back to the well like that with Degrassi? Degrassi was a classic. Ugh, this is going to be the worst. They're raping my childhood. And I watched the show and it was really good. I was like, wow, they kept the ethos. And it's, look, the kids are way easier to look at now. And they don't dress like me anymore. They look a little more current. The storylines were current. Like, they did a fucking storyline once where one of the main characters on the show had a bunch of rubber bracelets on and shit, and they were intimating that the bracelets were given for blowjobs, which was kind of like ripped right from the headlines. And I was like, oh my god, that's so frightening and hot and erotic. Like on a teen show, because they don't show it, but the premise is like, once they go to commercial and they're showing you the Oxy 5, someone's in a van going like... I was like, that is weird. You would never see that on like an American kids show, I found that fascinating. So I loved where they were going. I loved what they were doing. I loved their bravery, and it also was the only show on the planet that would let me like come on and be on it and shit. Because I wanted to direct it. I called up Linda Schuyler, and I was like, I see that you're heading toward the altar with Joey Jeremiah and Caitlin Ryan, and that's my favorite romance of all time. Like, that's bigger than Wuthering Heights to me. It's just those two, dude in a bad derby and the chick who had, what did she have? What is it? Epilepsy. She was cute and she had epilepsy. She had one of those manageable handicaps. I always loved that. So I was like, look, it looks like you're going to move those characters. They came into the Next Generation show. I said, I think it looks like you're going to move those characters towards getting married, and I would just kill or die to be the guy that wrote and directed those episodes. And Linda Schuyler, who created the show, was like, I'm sorry, who is this now? And I explained, and she was like, oh, that's right, I've heard you're a fan. That's so nice. And she goes, well, I'll be honest with you, Kevin, most of our money comes from the Canadian government, and it comes through different funds, and schedules are laid out, and it's all about who's in the favor OUR of the she didn't talk like that. She was just like, look, you can't do it. It's because the way we put our financing together, all the key roles have to be filled by Canadians. That's where the Canadian financing government comes from. So director has to be Canadian, writer has to be Canadian. She's like, I'm sorry to say you can't do it because you're not Canadian. And I'd never been told that before in my life. I've been told no many times, particularly by women, but never for that reason. Like, here she was, and I had no rejoinder. I couldn't be like, well, in my heart I am. So she kind of stalemated me and shit. And I told my wife about it, and she's like, that worked? And I was like, yeah, and she took it into our marriage and shit. And every once in a while, I'm like, let's rock a little anal tonight. And she's like, you can't, because you're not Canadian. Yes. Shecky the Dachshund, yeah, we still have her. She's a miniature, so she doesn't get that big, so she looks like a puppy version of a regular Dachshund. But she's doing all right. She started resenting us because we started going away. We were away a lot, and all summer. We didn't bring the dogs with us this time. But throughout the shoot, there were many moments, I won't lie to you, where I would like literally be in bed with Jen. We'd be talking about home. You get homesick and shit. And I'd start talking about Shecky, and my voice would crack, and a tear would roll down, and shit like that. And I was smoking a lot of weed, so I was very emotional. And so, like 2 days before we wrapped on the movie, a friend of ours had showed up from Los Angeles with a bag, and Shecky popped out. It was like also my birthday weekend, and I was like, ah! Gave the wife a big hug and shit. I was like, I would have liked a blowjob, but whatever, this rocks. At least a wiener's involved. So. But yeah, Shecky's alive and well, doing very good and shit. Yes.
Kevin, we really have to do just 2, so make them count.
Okay.
You want me to take somebody from back here?
Where are you? She's like a real
All right, we got this guy. Come on up. Come on
there
up.
she is. I know she is.
Because I grew up on the shore by you, I was wondering why...
Talking to the mic, dude.
I grew up on the shore by you, I was wondering why you never really filmed anything in Keensburg.
In the Berg? Chasing Amy we shot in Keensburg when they're at the...
T-ball scene, right?
T-ball scene. It's not enough? Jack it up a little bit more? It's alright, dude. Yes.
Alright. Knowing how hilarious you are, did you ever want to
Has Entourage ever asked me to write for the show? No. It is, yes. I would love, look, no, they've never asked me to write for Entourage. I wish they would ask me to write for Entourage, because it would be the episode where Ari Gold is in prison, just like, I'm so sorry! And there's a massive dude fucking him up the ass, and he's wearing a Silent Bob shirt. I didn't mind it. I watched that show. I mean, it's a total guilty pleasure for me. It's a show that I do watch consistently. And whenever first time they mentioned me, I was like very like, oh my, did they fucking? That's my fucking. They said Kevin Smith. They said my name, and it was in a Sundance episode, and they were talking about the quasi Harvey Weinstein character, and Jeremy Piven's character, Ari Gold, said like, if it wasn't for me, he'd only be making Kevin Smith movies or something like that. That was the first one. So I heard that, and I was just like, oh my god! And I grabbed my wife, and I was like, look! Listen! They said my name on TV. And then she's looking at me, and she goes, Kevin, that's kind of a slam, don't you think? I said, no, they said my name. Oh my god, it is! I thought being in the Kevin Smith business was a good thing. This is a fucking slam and shit. So I was kind of pissed and whatnot, but I was like, whatever. I've taken so many shots at people. It'd be wrong to get upset at somebody else for taking a shot at me. I just wish it was a little funnier. And I knew where it came from. It was Rob Weiss. Rob Weiss is on the show, and Rob doesn't like me for whatever reason. He thinks I called him Vanilla Weiss once. And then years later, he got into a position of power, and he was like, I fucking remember this, bang, 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 just shoot my knees out on TV and shit. And the second time they referenced me on the show was when they did he was being forced, what's his name? Vinny Chase was being forced into doing the Aquaman sequel and shit. And they were all sitting around talking about it, and he was like, well, is Jim Cameron directing it? And they're like, no, they're rushing it, so it's going to be Michael Bay. And they're like, Michael Bay? Well, who's writing it? At least who's writing it this time? He goes, Kevin. And they go, Andrew Kevin Walker? And he goes, no. Kevin Smith. And everyone in the room goes, fuck. Now, that one stung a little bit more. But I was like, all right, well done, Vanilla, well done. But the thing, the blowback of that joke, it kept going for a while. And it wasn't like people going, they made fun of you on fucking Entourage. It was literally hundreds, dude. Not fucking one or two idiots. Hundreds of people congratulating me on scoring the Aquaman 2 gig. I was just like, when do you ever remember seeing Aquaman 1? Alright, we gotta start? We gotta start.
You gotta start.
Let's start. Thanks for hanging out. Let's have
Thanks, everybody, once again. Kevin Smith.
That's why we can shake out the one or two people who are not